Okay, so we're back with Richard of Pittsburgh Modular, and we want to take a look at a new module here. So why don't you tell us what it is and what you got going on?
Okay, this is the Lifeforms Organic Waveform Designer. This module is more of a proof of concept than an actual product at this point, but it sounds amazing and we figured we'd show it to you. So what we have going through is a super simple patch. We have a square wave going through a VCA, and that's it. The problem with square waves and all high harmonic content waveforms is that when you fold them, they don't really sound that good because you're kind of zeroing them off and you end up with this. It's not terribly interesting. What we've done is we've developed a way to fold high harmonic content waveforms. So what we do is we reshape the wave enough that the wave folder has something to grab onto, but we don't change the sound and we don't change the harmonic content. The way we do that is this button here we call warp. So you see I press that and now we're in the warp mode. And that works with all high harmonic content waves. I can swap this out for a saw wave. And we do the same thing. This is without it. That sounds a little bit better. But now we'll add the warp circuit. Huge waveforms coming out of that thing.
Is this a digital processing or is this analog?
Everything in here is analog. This is all based on the wave folder that's built into the Voltage Lab that we announced and did a Kickstarter for back at Super Booth last year. So this is just a breaking that little bit of it out as a standalone module.
How different is that wave folder from the one that's in the double helix?
Completely different design.
Okay.
We've done 3 different wave folder designs at this point. We did the double helix was our first, then we have the wave folder that's in the primary oscillator, and then we have this wave folder. And they're all a little bit different. The designs are very different. We started with the wave folder from the primary oscillator for this design, but to get the warp to work, we ended up having to redo the whole thing.
So let's hear the asymmetry on it.
So the asymmetry, let's pick a different waveform here. So this is a sine wave. What the asymmetry is doing is it's a half wave rectifier. So we're sort of chopping off the bottom half of the sine wave and then expanding it out. And what we're trying to do, the only reason this is here, and then we have an offset as well, that's just a positive voltage offset on the waveform that you don't see on the output, but internally what we're trying to do is hit the wave folder differently. So if we can hit the wave folder asymmetrically, you're going to add more positive harmonics or even harmonics to it. So now this has been assigned, we're going to run this through the warp. A little bit richer. For the lower harmonic waveforms like sine waves and triangle waves, the warp doesn't have quite as much effect as it does if we switch back to the same saw wave.
Let's talk about this mixing console you have here.
Okay, the mixing console is an update on our system interface design. we loved the system interface functionality, but we weren't super happy with the ergonomics of it. It didn't look necessarily like a mixer. It was so dense and there were so many controls on it. So what we've done with, we took it and we said, well, let's replace a couple of the knobs with sliders. So you now have volume sliders instead of the knobs, and that gives us some indication there with the LED as well, which is nice. And we've replaced all the switches with buttons. It still gives you a ton of functionality. So the first 3 channels, I'll turn this down here. We have preamps. So if I bring these in, I don't want to kill you. We can overdrive it. Up to 30x, so that'll bring in external guitars or external synths, or you can use an FX loop with guitar pedals or whatnot. First 3 channels also have pan. You have a bus you can assign them to. We have the main, and then we have an aux send as well that has a level control for each channel. Then a stereo aux return. So really, we wanted something that allowed you sort of to divide your outputs and use it as the final mixing console for your patches.
Very nice. And it's got the aux sends on here. Very nice. And what's the price point on this one?
I have no idea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
When's the availability of it?
I don't know that either.
Excellent.
Yep.
It looks very cool though, and I don't know if these buttons are going to come through as well in the video, but they're very pretty. Very pretty. I mean, that's just gorgeous looking. Love the design aesthetics here.
We're really trying to step up the game as far as how our stuff looks and how it feels.
It's night and day different from the original Pittsburgh Modular stuff, Night and day difference.
It is night and day difference, and I think that represents what we're doing right now. This works really well. We feel like we've got the basics nailed at this point, so all of our engineering is we're solving harder problems. We're doing things like making square waves fold and creating with our dynamics controllers. We've redesigned an analog emulation of a Vactral so that we can have voltage controlled pluck length and things like that. We're solving hard problems now.
Yeah, I tell people all the time about how much I love the double helix and the emulated Vactral that's in that. I love that thing. I use it in like every patch. So.
And that was the first generation of what we're doing. We now have voltage control over the length.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of everything is evolving now.
Excellent. Well, this has been Pittsburgh Modular at NAMM2020, and I highly recommend you check out their YouTube channel as well, because they've got some really great content up there.